Good day skis and welcome to the South African lawn. Okay guys, so I'm not even going to make a joke today. I'm just going to jump straight into today's video. I am so excited. I'm so excited. You know when you go on holiday for 2 weeks and you come back home and that Jack Russell sitting at the gate, seeing your car with a trailer coming back from the coast. He doesn't know where you were. He's just like, I've been without my guys for 2 weeks here, and then I'm as excited as that Jack Russell right now. You know, that Jack Russell is so excited he wheezed himself. Well, I've wheezed myself as well, but I could whee myself again any moment now. I'm so excited, and the reason why I'm so excited is purely because of how magnificento this backyard of mine is starting to look. And also, I'm seeding today, so I can't wait. The results are really starting to show you. I mean, just the color of this babe. Okay, well, that ruins it basically. But I mean, if you were in my eyes now, like imagining that these bare patches are not here. I mean, this place is looking brilliant. I've cut it now. The top dress has been down about 8, I think it's exactly 8 days. So I actually wanted to seed like a couple days back already. But I didn't have a chance. I was actually busy with work and sorting stuff out. But today I am throwing my seed down. We are finishing this lawn renovation. Lekker. Okay guys, so the clock is ticking. It's the 5th of May. The weather is still beautiful, but something I did want to finish. It is getting a little bit late to seed, so I need to get my seed down now, but I had to finish those lawn borders or garden borders, edges, whatever you want to call it, right there, because I want to seed straight up to them. Some of the areas there I've leveled, some of here extended the lawn a little bit, so I want to seed into those areas and get the lawn to stretch right to the garden edge right there. And also I've kept myself busy for a while with these. Just have a look at that light there, guys. I don't know if you call it a pendant or you call it a lampy or you call it a light or whatever, a lamp, but check there. I've made these wooden lights, which is just a flippin' beauty to look at. You know, it's like a nice sports car. It's just pleasing to the eye. Okay guys, so let's get into the good stuff. I just quickly want to say there is not a whole lot of information regarding seeding, cool season lawns in particular, or seeding any lawns in South Africa, also Johannesburg in particular, with our climate available. There's not a lot of information available. However, seeding is a pretty universal, like you can apply it to any climate or whatever. You just have to look at your specific climate. But I'm going to share what my successes was. I think I've sowed about 3 or 4 lawns already from seed. So I'm going to tell you where my successes were and also where my failures were. So let's quickly just have a look at the things that you want to try and avoid. Okay, so first up, I want to say my most important rule of seeding is the time of the year that you do it in. Okay, cool season lawns, if you are in Johannesburg, I can't speak for everywhere in South Africa. I grew up in Johannesburg, that's the climate I know, and it's basically all I know. So I've sowed in the middle of summer when we get a lot of rain, and I don't think the temperature is the problem. I think the seed wash away is the problem. We get thunderstorms with massive downpours of rain, and I'm talking about 1 millimeter of rain per minute, and that's what you want to try and avoid. I can almost guarantee you your seed will wash away. So in my opinion, that is the biggest threat to seeding a lawn. Okay, so second up, I'm going to talk about time of the year again. I like to seed as late as possible in April or beginning of May, and that is very dependent on your microclimate. I know the guys living in the dips will get frosts earlier than I do. I'm staying on top of a mountain here, so I'm quite high up, so I don't really get a lot of frost. So that is something to keep in mind. So you will have to look at your microclimate, but I think end of April, beginning of May is the best time to seed, because it's not foolproof, but I think our rains is just about over. I don't think we're going to get any more rain. It's beginning of May. There is a slight chance, but we'll just have to deal with it. We can't seed in the middle of June or July, so that's a little bit difficult. And also, I just want to talk about spring seeding. Spring seeding is, I think, a no-go. Looking at the last 2 years of rain charts, we didn't get, well, hardly any rain in September and October. So I think it's a very difficult time to seed. The air is bone dry. Our temperatures are in the 30s in spring. I just think it is really difficult to keep your seed moist. Okay, so let's just quickly look at this lawn here. It is, in my opinion, looking brilliant. Besides these patches that I took out now, if I hadn't taken out the invasive grasses, I promise you this lawn would have been absolutely mint. And I sowed this 17 April last year, and then we had a massive, well, a pretty big downpour of rain, and some of it washed away. And then I oversowed, I think the 1st of May, actually on that public holiday, I put the second batch of seed down, and it grew beautifully straight through the winter because it's a cool season lawn and I don't get a lot of frost. This lawn never really checked out. Maybe we'll have the same winter, maybe it'll be worse. But it just grew straight through. It slowed down a little bit, and then it just came out into spring beautifully. I mean, August was a prime month for me for growing this Kentucky Bluegrass lawn. Okay guys, so let's quickly talk about growing grass seed, and once again I'm going to aim it directly at cool season lawns this time of the year. Warm season we mostly go for sod, like Kikuyu. You get those strips next to the road, you can buy it from the sod farms. I know 1 or 2 places, so yeah, and that'll obviously aim more towards spring or summer when you would do something like that. Seed would mostly be cool season grasses, those things that you find in Builders Warehouse, Checkers, Chamberlains, all those boxes. We'll talk about the seed now. Those, if it says evergreen, it is most probably a cool season mix. So yeah, I'm going to aim all the seed growing at cool season grasses. So yeah, I want to quickly talk about the 3 fundamentals that allows you to grow grass in any time of the year. Obviously there's a better time, like a preferable time to grow it, but you can grow grass seed any time of the year if you stick to the 3 fundamentals. And also there's a lot of like seeding techniques and I want to say templates which you do to get your grass seed to grow. But if you keep the 3 fundamentals in mind, you will have success. So whichever way you do it. And the first is it needs moisture, so water. The second thing is it needs heat, and heat in cool season grass is not a big thing because as long as the temperatures, the evening temps are below like 3 or 4 degrees, that is enough temperature. Our day temperatures allows it to go up to 20-24 degrees at the moment easily, so that's enough heat. And the last thing is seed to soil contact. Well, that's not even a fundamental because your grass will germinate, but as it germinates, it will need somewhere to shoot the roots down into the soil. So you need water, you need heat, and you need seed to soil contact to grow your grass seed successfully. Okay, so now I just quickly want to talk about different seeds that you get on the market. The most common ones that we get is the ones in the supermarkets, at Builders Warehouse, whatever. And you also get some seeds from the farm places. I'll talk about that now. But on the shelves, you'll see stuff like this. I don't even know what's in here, like judging by the things that they say, like germination 7 to 14 days, is probably ryegrass or tall fescue. Then you get these boxes which are very, very popular at Builders Warehouse. Unfortunately, these options work out a little bit more expensive. Why, I don't know, but it works about double the price. So I think it's just because of the small quantities. I actually wish that they could just stock bigger bags. I mean, it's fine if you want to seed a couple of square meters under a tree where you've got shading issues with your Kikuyu or whatever, but seeding a lawn, it's flipping impossible. You'll have to buy 10 of these boxes, okay, obviously depending on the size of your lawn. But yeah, okay, so this works out about, I think, 300 or 400 rand per kilogram. It's about 170, 180 odd for a box like this of 500 gram, and this works out about 150 rand a kilo, so a lot cheaper. And the one thing that I do like is if you want to go for a monostand grass type, so in other words you've only got one grass type. A lot of these they mix them in. I know this is also a monostand, this is only perennial rye, wintergreen, whatever, but if you want to go for a monostand, you want to like do your homework and get a bag like this which has only got one type of grass seed in it. Okay, so don't get frightened when you buy seed or think it's too difficult. A lot of the instructions are actually like on the box. It'll tell you how many square meters it covers, it'll tell you how to mow it, it'll tell you how it grows, whatever. Most of this isn't a creeping grass type, so you will need enough of it. So you will need at least, if it says it covers 20 square meters and you've got 40, you will at least need 2 boxes and probably a bit more for the wash away and the spaces that don't germinate. Okay, so this is the seed that I'm going to use today. This is the exact same seed that I used last year with a seeding project. Ooh, the sun's in my eye. I've got 2 kilograms of this, which is more than enough. With this 2 kilograms, you can probably seed close to 100 square meters. I would say about 80 square meters, and I've only got about maybe 10 squares in total, so this is like way too much, but I'll keep the rest for spares. I still need to fix that wall. We'll talk about that in another day, and I might need some more seed right there. Okay guys, so I'm going to focus on that very small area there just for the purpose of this video, so I don't get distracted, so I can focus more on the information of the video and give that information better through to you. Okay, so the seed that I will be using is this Kentucky Bluegrass fielder variety that they use on the sports fields or whatever, just because that's what's on my lawn, as you know. And what you want to do in preparation is you want to do as much leveling as possible beforehand. Okay, leveling beforehand is a lot easier, and you can do more dramatic changes or drastic changes beforehand than afterwards. Obviously you can't cover your seed with 10 centimeters of soil, that'll just kill your lawn off. So do all your leveling as far as you can beforehand. Maybe get some of those Culterra lawn dressing bags if you've got a small area like this. I obviously buy soil from that soil yard, Garden Organics down in Little Falls. It's close to me, it works out a lot cheaper. So that's where I get mine from, but don't get stressed if you haven't got access to that. Just get yourself some bags, 1, 2, 3 bags, depending on obviously on the size of that lawn dressing that you can work with, and you'll use it for your seeding. Let's get into seeding right about now. Okay guys, so preparation of your seed bed is of utmost importance. That's going to allow good seed to soil contact, and also the medium that you use. I love to use an organic matter medium, like your lawn dressings, like something with a bit of organic matter in, because that when your seed germinates, that'll give it the nutrients that it needs. So if you do sand, then you'll have to add nutrients, which is a little bit scary, adding a lot of chemical fertilizers to newly born grasses. Okay, so just germinated grass seeds. So what you want to do is you want to rough up your soil a little bit. If you've leveled a lot, you want to like maybe just trample on it and just compact that area a little bit so you don't get settling so much afterwards. Okay, so I'm not really raising the height here, so all I want to do is I want to move my soil around a little bit. I'll show you, and get it as level as possible. Check there, eh? Level, but level. My oog is 'n waterpas. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I've got roughly, well, under 4 meters. This is about 1 meter wide, and it curves to then. I've got about 3 square meters here, and I need 25 grams per square meter that I am seeding. So here I would need about 7,500 grams maximum. So that's how you work it out. Just times your, well, get your area calculator and times length by width and whatever. Calculate how much seed you need by using a kitchen scale. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to chuck it out by hand. I'm just going to wing it. But this is how you do it. You get a kitchen scale, you cut open your bag of seed here like that, and then you gooi it in here and you measure how much seed you do need. I'm just going to wing it, so I would say I would need 75 grams. Why am I doing this now? I just said I'm not going to do it. Oh, it's sliding off. It's going. Bang on. Bang on. Okay guys, so this is how I seed a small area. If I were to seed a big area, I would use a broadcast spreader, but I'm just gonna chuck the seed out by hand as even as possible. I'm gonna distribute this 75 grams of seed over this area right here. If it clumps up a little bit, don't worry about it. We'll talk about what we're gonna do about that now. You don't want heaps of seed, so get it as even as possible. Okay, and that, my dear friends, is how evenly distributed grass seed looks if you were to seed the whole lawn. Refer to my previous video about seeding. I'll maybe put a link or that card thing up there to have a look at that. It is a terrible video, but just go and have a look at it. I'll sow the whole lawn. You might maybe want to get one of those hand spreaders that you roll, or a broadcast spreader that runs on the wheels, and it distributes just a lot more even, and do plenty of passes to distribute that seed onto your lawn. Also, another thing to keep in mind is you don't want to get your seed in your garden. That'll germinate there and you'll have grasses popping up. Okay, that looks like grass already, but it's that, I don't know what you call that. It'll grow there and you'll have problems picking grass from your beds all the time. Oh, just look how tiny these grass seeds are. Little babies. They're gonna be beautiful in a few weeks' time. Okay, so I just want to talk about bare areas. So if you've got bare areas like that, you want to rough up your soil like this. I'm going to show you quickly, and then put your seed down after that. You don't have to, if you don't want to level, in other words. So you just scrape your rake like that over those areas, just to expose the soil a little bit better and make it a little bit softer, so you get proper seed to soil contact. Just like that. That's rough. It's now loose soil, so you can throw your seed down onto that. Guys, now the seed is down right there. Now what? Okay, now you want to be very gently, let me quickly show you, gently take your rake and pull it through gently through the seeded areas like that. I'm going very slow now to show you. Ooh. Okay, so what you want to avoid is, you don't want to make like tracks that is 2-3 centimeters deep. If that seed falls down 2-3 centimeters below the level of the soil, it will not have enough power to push through the soil. So you basically just want to stir up the top layer of soil and your seed and mix them together. Okay, so this area right here, as you can see, I've done with a rake. I'm just going to show you the other method, which will include the rake a little bit later. You will use your top dress medium and just sprinkle it lightly over. You can even distribute it by hand again. Just cover it lightly, just something like that. Sorry, it's not a great job that I've done there. And then rake it lightly, just so it mixes a little bit together. Just like that. Guys, we don't want to bury the seed way down under there, and just like that, just so the seed basically disappears, so you don't see the seed anymore. Now what you want to do is, you want to either get a roller. I like to just trample on it. Use your feet and compact the two lightly together, so that we remember the third rule. It is seed to soil contact. Okay guys, so that basically wraps up the seeding. Now the last thing that I want to touch on is watering, and that all of this is actually fairly easy and enjoyable to do, but watering is where it becomes tricky. You will have to try and keep your seed moist for at least 30 days. That is a month, guys. That's a long time. So you want to In ideal conditions, you want to water approximately 2 times a day. I'm setting my irrigation for 4 times per day. That is very short increments. I'm not using tons of water. It's approximately the same water that I would normally use, but it's like 2 or 3 minutes, 4 times a day, and I've got 2 zones, so that's basically 8 times per day. So just keep that in mind. You'll have to keep your seed moist. If you don't have irrigation, don't stress. You get that automatic timers at all your stores, checkers, builders, whatever, whatnot. So you can use those are very effective, just with a sprinkler in that area, and then set it for 2 minutes, 4 times per day, or whatever the case may be. If you don't, give it water in the morning and give it water in the evening. When you water, you want a fine mist, like a sprinkler action, because you don't want your seed to wash away. Okay, you don't want to imitate that fast rain and heavy rain and the seed wash away. So you want to give a light watering, just keep it moist for all the time. If your seed dries out, your success rate will be much lower. It's not over, but a lot of the guys say if your seed dries out, it's over. It's not. That's not really the case, but you will have to keep it moist for 30 days, or as close as damn it to 30 days. This takes about 14 days to germinate. One of the slowest grasses, 14 to 20 days to germinate, the Kentucky bluegrass. Your other grasses takes only about 7 days. Then it gets a little bit easier. Then you can back up on the water. I'm going to do a whole irrigation video soon. But when seeding, you want to keep it moist. And I can't stress it enough. I know I've said it about 5 times. Keeping your seed moist will definitely give you success. That is where the main trick comes in. As long as your seed stays moist, your grass will grow. Okay guys, so that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've learned something today. That is basically my method, how I seed a lawn. So it is not that daunting at all, in my opinion. It's really a viable option. This cool season grasses grow brilliantly in shade. So if you've got a complex and you've got a lot of shade, a great idea to keep. Obviously, when you have got shade, water isn't that big of a problem. I know this grass takes quite a lot more water than kikuyu, or is not as drought tolerant, the cool season grasses, but it is a great and a viable option. And you can see the vibrant colors. It's just such a dark color. It's a beautiful lawn to grow. So great option in my opinion. It's not that difficult to do. Once you get going, once you get the love for your lawn, it really just becomes second nature. I love doing it. But thank you so much for watching. I hope this video wasn't too long. I hope it wasn't too boring. I hope I've given you some information, or at least entertained you if you knew all these things. But I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks to all the subscribers, everyone commenting, liking, give me your ideas, let me know what you think of my ideas. Yeah, that's great. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers for now. Bye bye. Okay, good morning guys. Well, it's morning for me at least. Exactly 11 days. It's the 16th of May, and we've got pretty flippin' nice germination right here. The first germination I saw after 9 days. It is now 11 days, and a lot of it is coming up. It's actually quicker than the previous time when I seeded. So this is quite exciting. Excuse the cage, the dogs were trampling all over my seeded areas. But just have a look there. Germination. Success! Hello, babies! Just look how tiny you are. My word. Okay, so that wraps up my backyard renovation. I hope you enjoyed it. Excuse my cracking voice. It's 6:30 in the morning, guys. Cheers.